Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. So today is Vlogmas day 12. Yes, day 12. And today I thought I would do my 10 favourite Christmas movies. So I'm just going to jump straight in. I've had to change over to my phone because my camera battery died. Bad planning. I'm trying to do this before my baby wakes up, so. Right, so number 10 on the list is Scrooged. This is a film starring Bill Murray as Frank Cross, the Ebenezer Scrooge character. It's an 80s version of A Christmas Carol, so very modern day life. And yeah, it's just brilliant. It's really funny as well. So the fairy in it's excellent. That was always my favourite part as a kid, the little fairy. So go check that out because it's a one to watch definitely if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, where the heck have you been? Number nine on the list is A Nightmare Before Christmas. So this is a Tim Burton movie, probably one that he's most famous for actually. I think it was one of the first that he became famous for, definitely. This is Scott's absolute all-time favourite Christmas movie. He loves it. It's fabulous. There's music, there's singing, there's little cartoon characters, but it's all about I think his name was Jack, how he wants to start Christmas in like Halloween world basically. Go check that one out if you haven't seen it already. You will have, I'm sure. But number 8 is a bit of a controversial one. Now, a lot of people are going to say their favourite action-packed Christmas movie would be Die Hard. Not for me. Bruce Willis is just not my bag really. I like Die Hard, but it's not my favourite. Lethal Weapon on the other hand, yes. Now I am classing this as a Christmas movie. Jingle Bell Rock is in this movie and it is a fantastic film. You got Mel Gibson, you got Danny Glover doing the best that they did, just being Rick and the other guy. Can't remember his name, but it's fantastic. It's hilarious as well. It's so funny, and I just love Lethal Weapon movies. So this is my number 8. Number 7, we have, of course, Home Alone. It wouldn't be a top 10 without Home Alone, would it? I'm pretty sure you've all seen it. You must have. You got Macaulay Culkin, little cute sweet Macaulay Culkin being left at home by his parents and the rest of his family while they go off on a jolly for Christmas, and he's there all alone. But the burglars come and they try to get into his house and steal all his parents' things, and he manages to keep them at bay. It's a fantastic movie. I love it, and it's just one of those really good Christmas movies, you know, at the end when the mum comes through the door and he's so happy to see her because he wishes them all away in the beginning, by the way. Anyway, go check it out. You'll love it if you haven't seen it already, which everybody has, so yeah, you must. Trading Places at number 6. Fantastic. I love a good 80s movie. You'll probably see from this list I love older movies, but oh my gosh, Eddie Murphy movies were the best back in the day. So Eddie Murphy basically plays a down and out. He's living on the streets. He's not got very good prospects for the future and things like that. Dan Aykroyd is basically, he has it all. He has millions. He works at a fantastic company for a trading firm, and he just has it all. But these two elderly chaps plan on teaching Dan Aykroyd a lesson, and they pick Eddie Murphy up from the streets and put him in Dan Aykroyd's position at the big firm, and they switch places basically. So Dan Aykroyd actually ends up becoming the down and out, and Eddie Murphy is in Dan Aykroyd's position. But the end is fantastic, how they get together and they turn it around on the other two guys who weren't very nice, to be quite honest. But it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Anything that Eddie Murphy is in back in the 80s was fantastic. So go check that one out. It is brilliant. I love this movie. So at number 5 is, and you may not have watched this one, me and my sister used to watch this all the time when we were kids. We loved it. It was filmed in the 80s, I believe, but set in the 1940s, and it's called A Christmas Story. This is definitely one to watch if you haven't watched it. I guarantee your kids will love it. It is fantastic. So basically it's about this little boy, and he's 9 years old, and basically he really wants for Christmas a BB gun. So like a pellet gun, I presume. His mum says no, because you'll shoot your eye out. Now, you'll shoot your eye out becomes a thing in the movie. His little brother always says, "You'll shoot your eye out." And it's just one of those things that me and my sister always say to each other now. You know, it's one of them things like that you just say to when you're a kid. He wants this BB gun so much, but everybody tells him no, because you'll shoot your eye out. He did a little essay at school, but his teacher gives him a really bad grade and says you'll shoot your eye out. It's all around this little boy and this BB gun. There is a really funny scene in it as well, when his friend gets tongue stuck to a frozen pole. It's hilarious. It's so funny. It's just one of those really good movies. It's got a real sort of black comedy, I suppose, like very it's funny but not trying too hard to be funny, you know. It's just really good. It's a really fantastic movie. So my number 4 movie is Elf. It wouldn't be a list without Elf, would it? So you've got Will Ferrell in the role of Elf, Buddy the Elf, who is who when he's a baby, he actually gets crawls into Santa's sack and gets taken off back to Lapland with Santa, and he gets raised by Papa Elf. And it's just hilarious. This really tall man in Elfland where everybody is tiny little elves, and he grows up into Will Ferrell, and it's all about him going on a journey back to New York to try to find his birth parents. And it's brilliant. It's just such a it's just hilarious. Just go and watch it and you'll just be laughing the whole time. It is fantastic. I love it. And there's this really funny scene in it where he does this massive it's so gross, but it's hilarious. And then he goes, "Did you hear that?" I knew. It's so funny. Brilliant. I love it. In fact, I might watch it this morning. Right, so we're getting into the oldies but goodies. So number 3 on my top 10 Christmas movie list has to be, and I struggled with putting this at number 2 or number 3, but gosh, I can't move number 2 because I just can't. So number 3 has to be A Christmas Carol, and it has to be, there is no other that is better than the Alistair Sim version. He just brings the Charles Dickens book to life, I think. Alistair Sim is fantastic as Ebenezer Scrooge. Even when I was a little girl, I loved this movie, and when they brought out all the new ones and tried to do it better than that one, it just never happened. It never happened. No, there was never any Christmas Carol better than the Alistair Sim version. So if you haven't seen that version, why the heck not? At number 2, this is the reason why I couldn't move A Christmas Carol into the second place, because it's Meet Me in St Louis, and it's Judy Garland. Judy Garland is one of my all-time faves, and Meet Me in St Louis is just one of those movies that is just such a feel-good movie. It's about a lovely family, and they live in St Louis, and every year they go to the fair. Meet me in St Louis, Louis, meet me at the fair. It's got singing, dancing. It's just fabulous. And there's this gorgeous little girl in it, Judy Garland's little sister, and she does this such a sweet little dance and song with Judy Garland. And it's so basically her dad has taken another job, and the family are going to be moving away from St Louis, and it's all about that and how upset they are. They love their hometown, they love it there, and it's just such a good movie. I love it so much. I really, really love it. It wouldn't have ever been my number 1, but it comes so close, because my number one is the all-time best. So at number 1, it is It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. There is no other. There is no other number 1 on any Christmas list you could ever say was better than It's a Wonderful Life. You've got James Stewart, fabulous actor. I've actually got It's a Wonderful Life, and I've got the black and white version, and I've got the colour version. So depending on my mood of that day, I will watch either one. And that movie for me, I'll watch all year round as well. I just love it. I love It's a Wonderful Life. So basically, he lives in this small town in America, and he's grown up there, and he always wanted to get out of the town, but his father died, and he took on the role of being boss man at the company that his father owned, which was a building society. And he ended up having to stay, and then he was going to go off and travel the world and everything, and something else happened, and he stayed, and then he fell in love with this beautiful woman, and they got married and had kids, and he still didn't travel the world and see all that he wanted to. It's years and years down the line, and something terrible has happened at the building society, and his uncle loses a lot of money, and he can't see any other way out, and he basically goes off, crashes the car, thinks everybody's lives would have been better without him. He saves Clarence, his guardian angel, who jumps off of the bridge into the river, and Clarence takes him to show him what life would have been like for everybody if he had never been born. And it's so good, because he's made such a huge impact on people's lives, and how he's helped a lot of people without even realising it. And the end of the movie is just lovely when he goes back home. I cry every time I watch it, because it's just such a beautiful movie, and it has to be number 1. And I've loved this movie since I was a little girl, so if you have not watched It's a Wonderful Life, you have to watch it. It's so fabulous. It really, really is. Please go and watch it. Please, please, please. Okay, so that's my top 10 Christmas movie list. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. A little thumbs up. Comment below with your number one Christmas movie, and comment below if I've missed any that you think should be on the list as well. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you've enjoyed day 12 of Vlogmas, and I'll see you tomorrow with another. It may be our Def Leppard trip. We're off to see Def Leppard tonight, so I will be vlogging about that. I've got to charge my battery though on my camera. Okay, take care guys. See you next time. Bye bye.